Speaker, sir, as we discuss the state budget for the financial year 26-27, it's encouraging to note that the strong economic foundation on which Goa continues to progress. Our state's gross domestic product is estimated at 1.31 lakh crore, reflecting steady economic growth and resilience. I would like to congratulate the Honorable Chief Minister for the budget he has presented, because it's a forward-looking budget and balanced with a balanced roadmap for the continued progress of our state. It reflects a clear vision for inclusive growth, strengthening infrastructure, empowering youth, women, supporting farmers, and improving the overall quality of life for our citizens. Goa also continues to maintain one of the highest standards of living in the country, with a per capita income of 8.18 lakh. The government has proposed a total expenditure of 30,195 crore for the financial year, while prudently maintaining fiscal discipline with a projected revenue surplus of 1,666 crores. Additionally, the support received from the Government of India, including 2,078 crores as special infrastructure assistance, further strengthens our ability to invest in development, infrastructure, and public welfare across the state. These figures clearly demonstrate that Goa's economy is stable, forward-looking, and well-positioned to achieve the vision of a stronger and more prosperous state. While speaking on the Public Works Department, Honorable Speaker, sir, I would like to commend the government for strong emphasis placed on infrastructure through the PWD department. With an allocation of 1897 crores, the government has clearly prioritized improving connectivity and public infrastructure across the state. The provision allowing each constituency to undertake priority development works worth 100 crores will ensure that local needs are addressed effectively. A substantial 1237 crores has been earmarked for roads and bridges, which will significantly enhance connectivity and ease of travel for citizens, while 372 crores has been allocated for the repair and maintenance of government buildings, ensuring that public infrastructure remains safe and functional. Major connectivity initiatives such as the proposed 4-lane road from Tue Electronic City to the National Highway will further boost economic activity and mobility. Importantly, projects such as the construction of the approach to the Bagwada Bridge and the Bagwada Bridge at Morle in Parien and the internal hot mixing roads of Valpoi will bring much needed improvements in road infrastructure in Sattari Taluka. When we speak on health, I would like to appreciate the government for the strong focus given to the health sector in the budget. The proposed expansion and strengthening of medical infrastructure will greatly benefit the people of Goa by improving access to quality health care. The expansion of the 100-bedded hospital and the construction of a new hospital block at IPHP Bambuli will significantly enhance mental health services in the state, which is an important and often overlooked area of healthcare. The addition of new lecture halls and facilities at Goa Medical College will further strengthen medical education and help produce more skilled healthcare professionals. At the same time, the establishment of a daycare center at the Institute of Psychiatry and Human Behavior and the construction of a 15-bed urban primary health center at Kunkoli, along with the upgradation of PHC Bedki, will ensure that healthcare services reach people more efficiently at the grassroots level. These initiatives clearly demonstrate the government's commitment to building a stronger, more accessible, people-centric healthcare system for citizens of Goa. When we speak on electricity, the electricity department has been given a budget of 5,100 crores, clearly demonstrates its commitment to strengthening the power sector and ensuring reliable electricity supply across the state. Investment aimed at upgrading electricity infrastructure will help improve the stability and efficiency of the power distribution network, which is essential for households, businesses, and overall economic growth. Reliable power supply plays a crucial role in supporting industries, tourism, education, and healthcare services. I would especially like to highlight the underground cabling work, which is currently underway in Sattari Taluka, which is greatly benefiting the citizens, and it has improved safety, reducing power outages, which are caused by weather conditions, and it has enhanced the overall reliability of electricity supply in Sattari Taluka. I would like to appreciate the government's continued commitment to protecting and strengthening Goa's rich forest and ecological heritage through the allocation of 199 crore to the Forest Department. Goa is blessed with abundant biodiversity, and investments in conservation and eco-development are vital for maintaining environmental balance while also promoting sustainable tourism. Initiatives such as the plantation drive under Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam, through which 2.19 lakh saplings have already been planted, reflect the government's dedication to increasing green cover and encouraging environmental awareness among citizens. The development of the forest park at Kampal, improvement of the walkway at the Dr. Salim Ali Bird Sanctuary, construction of an administrative block at Jordan Forest Office, and entrance plaza development at Bondla Zoo will enhance ecotourism infrastructure and create better experiences for visitors and nature enthusiasts. When we speak on social welfare, the budget allocation of 554 crores speaks volumes, ensuring a wide range of welfare initiatives continue to reach those who need them the most. The DSS is one of the state's most significant welfare initiatives started by former Chief Minister Shri Manohar Parrikar ji, continues to provide crucial support to elderly citizens, persons with disabilities and widows, with a substantial allocation of 479 crores and a commitment to enhancing benefits in view of rising living costs. In addition, 5 crore has been allocated for the welfare of the OBC community, along with a proposal to provide one-time special financial assistance to individuals engaged in traditional occupations such as artisans, musicians, flower sellers and potters. These initiatives collectively strengthen the social safety net and ensure that development in Goa remains inclusive and people-centered. For people with disability, the provisions made in the budget to empower people with disability reflect the government's strong commitment to building a more inclusive and supportive society. An allocation of 30 crores has been made for the Department of Persons with Disability, which will help strengthen various initiatives such as improving accessibility, rehabilitation, skill development, and overall quality of life for people with disability across the state. These efforts will go a long way in ensuring that every individual, regardless of physical or intellectual challenges, is empowered to participate fully and confidently in the social and economic life of our state. Through the Pradhan Mantri Divyansha Kendra at Goa Medical College, 601 assistive devices have been distributed free of cost to 330 beneficiaries, amounting to over 48 lakhs. The proposed introduction of equivalent certificate for grade 10 for persons with intellectual disabilities is an important step that will allow individuals undergoing structured training to receive a certification equivalent to the 10th standard, opening pathways for further skill development and employment opportunities. In addition, the new Divyang Kaushal Yojana will provide skill-based training and workshop access for persons with disabilities above the age of 18. Initiatives such as hosting the International Purple Fest 2026, the proposed Divyang Ghar for children with disabilities with NGO support, the creation of a barrier-free environment across the state with an investment of 12 crores, and the establishment of Composite Regional Center in collaboration with the National Institute for Speech and Hearing Disabilities, Mumbai, will collectively strengthen rehabilitation, accessibility, and inclusion. These initiatives will go a long way in empowering persons with disabilities. When we speak on women and child, 5 minutes please. When we speak on women and child, the true progress of any society is reflected in the empowerment, dignity and well-being of its women. The provisions made in this budget for the WCD department clearly demonstrate the government's commitment to strengthening this foundation of our society. An allocation of 544 crore has been made for the department, reinforcing the vision for women's empowerment as an important pillar for Vikasit Goa 2037. The Grah Aadhar scheme continues to provide crucial financial assistance with the provision of 330 crores and an enhanced monthly support, the Ladli Lakshmi and the enhanced...
Not yet, will be.
The enhanced, sorry?
Will be enhanced.
Yeah, it will be enhanced monthly support from the current financial year. The Ladli Lakshmi scheme with an allocation of 40 crores will continue to provide financial security for young girls and support them after marriage. The expansion of Anganwadi centers in various areas will strengthen childcare, nutrition and early education services. In addition, increase in honorarium for Anganwadi workers by 5,000 and for Anganwadi helpers by 2,500 from next year recognizes the important role they play in nurturing and supporting children and families in our communities. Speaker, sir, when we speak on skill development, the upgradation of 5 ITIs under the PM Setu scheme through the hub and spoke model will modernize training facilities and provide students with better technical exposure. The Mukhyamantri Sukanya's Kaushal Vikas scheme offers a 100% tuition fee waiver for girls in ITIs. It is an important initiative and encourages greatest participation of women in technical education. There is an establishment of a drone pilot training center at Kakora ITI and the introduction of specialized certificate courses in areas such as event production, light and sound engineering, wedding hospitality, which will open new career avenues, especially in sectors that are closely linked to Goa's tourism and service industry. When we speak on industries, there's an initiative to establish working women's hostel in industrial estates such as Verna, Madka and Tuve is a very progressive step towards empowering women and encouraging their greater participation in the workforce. With a provision of 30 crores for Goa IDC, the construction of these hostels at a cost of 100 crores expected to be completed in this financial year. It will benefit many working women with a safe, affordable and convenient accommodation close to their workplaces. When we speak on agriculture, the measures such as drip irrigation support scheme for vegetable cultivation will help farmers improve water efficiency, increase productivity and promote sustainable agriculture practices. The provision of 25 crores towards enhanced pricing support for scheduled tribe cashew farmers is a very important step that will directly strengthen the livelihoods of many farming families. The development of cashew mother blocks at government farms in Kodar and Kale for improved varieties will also help enhance the quality and yield of cashew plantations. I'm particularly happy to note that the proposal to establish the cashew, 5 minutes, to establish
1 minute, finish in 1 minute.
No, just 5 minutes.
1 minute, 1 minute.
Speaker, sir, under Rule 16, I would like to move a motion to extend the duration of the sitting of the House by 2 hours.
The resolution is to moved for extending the House by 2 hours. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it, the ayes have it. The House is extended by 2 hours. And madam, you have got just 1 minute.
Just 1 minute. I'm particularly happy to note the proposal to establish the Goa State Cashew Board under the Agriculture Department with a budget provision of 2 crores. This initiative aligns closely with the vision I've long advocated for the growth and protection of our traditional cashew sector, and it will go a long way in empowering the farmers and boosting one of Goa's most important agricultural industries. When we speak on tourism, Speaker, sir, we welcome over 1 crore of tourists in 2025 and at the same time government's focused on developing key attraction and cultural landmarks as Ikdasha Tirth Yatra, development of Harwale waterfalls. All these are important initiatives, facilitate pilgrimage travel for devotees visiting sacred places such as Pandharpur, thereby connecting Goa with wider religious tourism circuits. There is, through initiatives such as Mukhyamantri Awas Yojana, implemented through the Goa Housing Board, this will bring affordable flats and shelter for all. Under Majhe Ghar scheme, which Honorable CM launched, we have seen the huge, the success of the scheme and which has helped each and every sector in our state. Under education, substantial allocation of 3,400 crores and there's initiatives such as a program will help cultivate strong research culture among students. Under Panchayat, with an allocation of 940 crores, it's very, very important with a provision of 94 crores, the government is focusing on strengthening livelihood opportunities and promoting economic independence in rural areas. Under the National Rural Livelihood Mission, the government has set an ambitious target of creating 11,000 Lakpati Didis within 1 year, enabling rural women to achieve a minimum annual household income of 1 lakh and become financially self-reliant. The provision of 4.51 crore as community investment for self-help groups will help them expand their activities, improve access to credit, and generate additional income opportunities. In addition, bank loans amounting to 50 crores will be disbursed to self-help groups. The implementation of Viksit Bharat Rozgar, the Ajivika mission in convergence with Manrega remains an important instrument for ensuring rural employment security and livelihood support in the state. This program, implemented through panchayats, focuses on strengthening and planning at the village level. Speaker, sir, in conclusion, the various initiatives and allocations outlined in the budget presented by our Honorable Chief Minister, Dr. Pramod Sawantji, fully aligns with the national vision of Viksit Bharat 2047, while also upholding the guiding principles of Sarvodaya, that is the welfare of all, and Antodaya, upliftment of the last person in society.
Yes.
This budget not only addresses the needs of the present, but also lays a strong foundation for a prosperous, sustainable and inclusive future for Goa. Thank you, Speaker, sir.
तुम्ही पळयतात GNH.
अरे उस प्लान का क्या हुआ?
इस वीकेंड पे चले क्या?
गाइस, हिमाचल और केरला?
नहीं यार, इट्स टू कोल्ड. तो फिर गोवा चले क्या?
ओके, लेट्स गो फॉर इट. डन?
डन.
फ्लाइट टिकट्स तो बुक हो गई है.
पर वहाँ घूमेंगे कैसे?
रेंट कार बुक करें?
ओके.
ओके. अरे यार, ये तो बहुत एक्सपेंसिव है.
अरे हाँ. गोवा है यार, बाइक ले लेते हैं.
ओके.
भैया, हमें रेंट बाइक देखना है, कुछ नया, पावरफुल, स्टाइलिश.
कितना दिन के लिए चाहिए?
2 दिन के लिए.
तो ये वाला लीजिए, होंडा का डिओ 125
ओह
सीसी.
नाइस.
The all-new Honda Dio 125. Bold design, powerful 125cc performance, and smooth rides made for Goa.
रेंट कार नहीं लिया वो बेस्ट डिसीजन था.
बहुत ही कंफर्टेबल राइड थी
और काफी स्टाइलिश भी है.
और हैंडलिंग भी स्मूथ है.
ऑल्सो इट वाज अ ग्रेट फन.
यस.
Honda Dio 125. Rent it, ride it, live Goa.